we have somebody else to thank. It's our good friend and meteorologist, Mike Favetta. He's going to give us the latest on the forecast. Hi, Mike.
Good morning to you both, Monica and Nikki. Nice to see you on this Wednesday morning. Monica, we had a pretty wild month of December weather. I mean, if you remember last month, some pretty rapid changes in the
Yeah.
weather, the extremes.
Oh, yeah.
My car door handles froze shut after
On
that flash
Christmas.
freeze. Remember Christmas?
Christmas
Yeah.
was
Oh
With the
my
flash.
cold.
gosh.
It was ridiculous
It
how
was cold.
fast that weather changed. So we wanted to start off today's show with the weather forecast, kind of showing what happens in the month of December and what the month is going to look like for January, even going into the rest of this winter. So with our weather forecast that started out a bit average for the month of December, the overall trend in temperatures was pretty much on par with normal. Normally we hit 38 degrees, and that was the average, what we saw around that time of the month when the month ended. In terms of rainfall, average normal rainfall for the month of December comes in at about just over 4 inches of rain. We picked up a little bit more, closer to 5 inches, so we're pretty normal there. But look at the right side of the screen, the highs and lows. The highest temperature during the month of December in Staten Island was 62 degrees. That was on December 30th. You remember how warm the month wrapped up, especially for New Year's Eve. However, the coldest, like I mentioned, when everybody was kind of frozen inside after that rainfall, we dropped to 6 degrees. And that's not a wind chill. That was an actual air temperature on Christmas Eve. So some really cold stuff to wrap up the month. Now, in terms of snowfall, we really didn't have much of any. There were a few flurries and flakes that actually amounted to a measurable trace over at Newark Airport, one of the closer snow reporting weather stations to Staten Island. Normally, we get close to 5 inches of snow for the month of December. So we fell a bit short in that department. And even going into the rest of the month of January, we're not really expected to see much more in the way of snowfall, at least in the short term. What happened last year was we had some slightly below average precipitation, didn't have much rainfall in general, but the forecast for this year, for the 2023 winter season, puts us closer to average in terms of snow and or rain. What's interesting to note, however, is how we're expected to be a little bit milder than average. We have an above normal chance of seeing warmer weather. So something interesting to note, and that's kind of the trend of what we expect over the next few winters and the last few years, that the winter season is warming fastest, not just here in Staten Island, but most of the country, especially the East Coast, that winter season warming quite quickly. That adds a lot of moisture to the atmosphere. So there's our warming trend, warming about 3 degrees on average. And that makes the difference between rain, sleet, or snow most times. The other day, we teased that we should talk a little bit about the big atmospheric river out west in California and how that's impacting the weather, especially in the West Coast. We'll give you those details coming up in just a few minutes and talk more about that pineapple express of moisture causing landslides and flooding over in California. Those details coming up in just a bit. Nikki, Monica?